Welcome to Stories Beyond Borders, the podcast where culture, identity, and personal journeys come together. I'm your host, Urmi, and in each episode we sit down with voices from around the world to explore what it means to belong, to move, to grow, and to find home. Whether you're a third culture kid, an expat, or someone redefining identity on your terms, these are your stories too. Today, I'm joined by Simone Pols, a language enthusiast, coach, and founder of the Simple Italian podcast, one of the most popular podcasts for Italian learners worldwide. Simone's passion for travel, neuroscience, and learning has taken him across many countries, where he's immersed himself in cultures and masters a dozen languages. Through his projects, he helps people discover a natural, human, and mindful way of learning languages. And when he's not sharing his love for languages, you will often find him running, practicing yoga, or meditating in the beautiful botanical garden of Montevideo, Uruguay. I'm so excited to dive into his journey and insights today. Welcome, Simone.
Hi, Urmi. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing well here in Montevideo today.
Yes, so how about we start with the first question, which is, what's your story?
What's my story? That's a good question. It's a story about curiosity, I would say. I like the word curiosity. I've always been curious as a kid. I think my favorite quote is one from Einstein, pronounced the German way, Einstein. And he says, I have no special talent, I'm just extremely curious, right? And well, this curiosity led him somewhere, I think. So I've always been curious. That's why at a certain point, between many other things, I also started traveling around the world, curious about, getting to know different cultures, learning new languages, learning in general. I love learning whatever. Mm-hmm. Languages, particularly languages, but anything. Yeah.
So tell us, how many languages you speak?
It's always a bit of a difficult question. 8, fairly well. And then I can survive in a few more languages. Yeah.
Okay. What are these 8 languages?
So I'm Italian. So Italian, Spanish, English, Portuguese, French, German, Russian, Catalan, and Slovene. I think we are at 9 already, but these are the languages. Yeah.
Wow, that's so impressive. At what age did you start learning languages, and from where does this passion comes?
I started honestly after university. Apart from English, we are learning English at school in Italy, more or less. And then soon after university, I started working for a Spanish company in Milan, and I was working a lot with suppliers, and I would send emails in English and get no reply. And that's how I started. All the suppliers were in Spain, and that's how I started, literally by using Google Translate, copy pasting. I didn't speak Spanish back then, right? So copy pasting, and then suddenly in a few minutes I would get a reply, and then I went like, okay, this sounds interesting. Let's try to learn Spanish then, yeah. And that's really how I started. I remember my girlfriend back then, my ex-girlfriend. She knew a high school Spanish teacher, so I told her to ask her if she had a couple of spare books, okay? Because I didn't even want to buy a book, and she had 2, so that's how I started learning Spanish. And after that, I moved to Germany because I got a new job in Germany. I moved to Germany without knowing the language, and then I started with German. In parallel, in Milan, I don't know if it is true nowadays, but back then at least there were a lot of Chinese. So I started learning Mandarin just because I wanted to, communicate with all these people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does it come easy for you to learn a language?
I'm not sure. What it comes easy is I can really spend a lot of time learning and I enjoy it.
That's good.
It's not like the language comes easy, but I enjoy spending time learning languages, so I don't see it as a burden. Yeah.
Is there a language that it's like your favorite among all of them?
I would say Spanish for me is the most emotional language.
Okay.
Many of my friends are from Spanish-speaking countries, mainly South American countries. And so, it's the language of friendship, it's the language of... I've been backpacking around South America quite a lot, so it's also the language of, traveling and hugging people and,
That's so
the
beautiful.
Fiesta.
Yeah. But you know what, even for me, I feel like Spanish, like it's the language that I know the least, but it's the language that I love the most.
Nice. Yeah.
I love Spanish, so I'm taking actually like Spanish courses now because I want to like master it. I love Spanish. I love everything about this, like all these cultures, like Spanish culture, Latin American countries. Like I just feel like people are just so warm, and there's something about that language that makes you like you want to dance all the time.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So my other question is, okay, so you travel a lot. Do you travel, because from the conversation now it looks like you have traveled because of work, but now do you also travel because of work, or is it a passion that you have and you love discovering other countries?
So more or less I'm a retired digital nomad. So I've been working a lot I've been working as well, but I've been traveling a lot in the past, especially when I was living in Germany. When I was living in Austria, at a certain point, I came back to Italy. I was also traveling a lot. Mainly, I would say, South America, because of my job, Europe, the US, every now and then. But I always loved traveling, so whenever I had time, I would just, go somewhere and backpack around. And then at a certain point, yes, I spent a few years as a digital nomad, so just traveling around and working from my laptop. It was fun because I still have them, 2 laptops, because I have 2 different activities. One is the one with the podcast, but I also work as a project manager. I'm freelancing now,
right?
And I help European companies to manage projects in South America. So I was traveling around with the 2 laptops. Yeah.
So one thing that I noticed on your Instagram, and we spoke about this also on our first call, was that I saw you you went to Bangladesh.
Yay!
Which is basically in the country of my parents. So I want to know a little bit about your experience going there, because we don't have that many people that go there. Like if you're not Bengali, typically you don't go there. So what was your experience like? Why did you choose to go there?
So I was traveling around Asia, and then at a certain point, a dear friend of mine from Bangladesh who lives in Austria, hi Ruba, I find out that he was gonna be in Bangladesh soon. So I was like, okay, Ruba, I'm gonna come to visit you and your family, right? We have to organize something. And it was a very spontaneous decision. I was, I think I was in Sri Lanka, so really not too far. And then I flew to Chattogram. And then he came to Chattogram, and we spent a few days a few days together, visiting the city, and yeah, well, he studied in Chattogram, so he knew the city pretty well from his university time, and it was really nice. A lot of people, so many people. Everyone usually says that India is a cultural shock because of the people, and I said, guys, in Bangladesh there's even more people than in India. So
it's very crowded. It's very
many people.
Crowded.
Yes.
It's very crowded. Did you have people approaching you?
A couple of times, yes. For selfies and all that. I especially remember. I don't remember the name of all the food we had, but food was really good. And of course, being around with the local, he knew all the best places to go, to get the best food. And he was constantly telling me, Simone, you have to try this, you have to try that. And I remember some sweet bowl or something that was very good. I don't remember the name.
Laddu?
Might be.
Mishti?
Mishti. It was a bit sticky, I think. No?
I feel like every single dessert in Bangladesh is sticky.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe baju.
Yeah, they're all sticky. They're all very sweet and sticky.
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. And that's the thing. The reason why I ask if people approach is because when people see someone that is different from them in terms of skin color and features, they usually tend to ask you to take pictures because they see you as a star. You're the star. Yeah.
Well, we're talking about curiosity before, right? So I think they're just curious, and And before traveling to Bangladesh, I spent a few days trying to learn some basic sentences, some basic Bengali, and I think that was helpful. Very unexpected also from people, so this always made them smile, and it was very easy to make a connection, right? And when I would say I come from Italy, many people had relatives or someone in Italy, so that was even easier to make a connection with the locals.
Yeah, because Italy has a huge community of Bengali people. They all moved there. Yeah.
I didn't know before traveling to Bangladesh.
Yeah. They all moved there, and when my parents moved, it was in the 80s, 90s, and then more and more people started to come. Then some part of it moved to UK, and then we had a new flow of Bengali people moving to Italy. So it's always a country where everyone goes to settle down. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, talking about your travels, how many countries did you visit? Because I was checking your Instagram and I'm like, I can't keep up.
Yeah, I always reply that I'm not counting, but probably people are counting for me. I don't know. I think between 60 and 70 or something like that, roughly. Let's say, yeah.
And if you had to choose one that was very mind-blowing, which one would it be?
Mind-blowing. Well, I love Argentina.
Is it because there are a lot of Italians?
No. Yes, no, because of the nature, especially if you go to the south, in Patagonia and in Tierra del Fuego. It's amazing. You have the Andes, and Tierra del Fuego is where the Andes meet, not one ocean, but where two oceans are meeting, and then the Andes, and it's wow. It's amazing. It's incredible, and people are always very friendly and warm and kind. I also love Georgia, which is an amazing country. Food is extremely good, and as an Italian, food is really important. You know that.
Yes.
And Georgia is nice. Georgia is nice because, like Italy, a little bit, it's a tiny country. So if you want to go to the seaside, you're never too far. In 1 hour from the capital of Georgia, you are on the Black Sea. If you want to go to the mountains, again, 1 hour, 1.5, and there's the whole Caucasus there, right? And they speak so many languages up in the mountains. Of course, I'm a language nerd, so that's also very interesting for me. The language itself, Georgia has an alphabet that only Georgian uses. It's like, looks a bit like noodles. I don't know if you know the alphabet. It's really nice. Yeah. And it is a very old language with nothing similar to any other language. And also, in my experience, I lived in Georgia for a couple of months, and then in another occasion I was just traveling around. People were super friendly. I really recommend Georgia.
Georgia, very interesting. No one ever gave me that recommendation. Good to know. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what's next for you in terms of travels? Because now you're in Uruguay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're gonna go probably back to Italy, as you were saying, for a couple of months, and then what's next?
Yeah. Well, so I'm based in Uruguay by now. I have Mexico and Guatemala on the list because the Mexican culture is big, and especially now that I live in a country where Spanish is, the national language, seems like there's a strong Mexican influence all over the Latin countries, right? So that's why I got curious to get to know a bit more about the culture, about the country. It's a huge country again, so I doubt I can see the whole country, but spending maybe a month somewhere, or maybe doing some volunteering activity, something like that would be nice.
Yeah, why not? That's nice. So let's just dive into your podcast, because you have a podcast. Maybe you want to share a little bit about what it is about for people who want to learn Italian.
Yeah, so my podcast is called Simple Italian Podcast, and as the name says, it's a podcast for people learning Italian. I basically speak about whatever floats my boat, but in a very easy way. I speak a bit slower than what I would do with my brother or my friends back in Italy, and if I know that I'm using a word that is a bit difficult to understand, then I explain it again, maybe using other words. Yeah, so that's a project.
Lovely. So Simone, as we're approaching the end of this episode, what is the message you want to leave today?
The message I want to leave today to our listeners. Hi everyone. Try to be present, guys. Try to be present, because present is all we have. That's why it's a present. Forgive my joke. Try to be present. We always, or I at least, want to do always a lot of things, and sometimes I find myself running around, and then I tend to forget to what's really important. And so if we live our lives with presence, well, that's the best present we can do to ourselves.
Yeah, and I think it's a beautiful message. We forget to enjoy the present, like you said. Enjoy the now, which is very, very important. So thank you, Simone, for coming today. Before I let you go, do you want to tell us how people can connect with you?
Yeah, thank you, Urmi. You guys can find me on simonepols.com or on Instagram, Simone Pols, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever podcast platform you might use, Simple Italian Podcast, or even on YouTube, Simone Pols or Simple Italian Podcast. Thank you, Urmi. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you, Simone, and thanks for listening to this episode of Stories Beyond Borders. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, home isn't always a place. Sometimes it's the story. Until next time, keep crossing borders and telling your story.